Hi, I'm Mary,
And I'm Ernie.
and we are here with the Murrieta Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and this is our video cast. The mission of this video cast is to connect with our local community here in the Temecula Valley area, providing proven and trusted resources, highlighting local holistic professionals so that you can live a longer, healthier life. And today we're doing things a little bit different, aren't we, Ernie? Switching it up.
Yep, we're going to do a tough conversation about having tough conversations. And, most of us that are watching this, most of us that are members here at the Murrieta Holistic Chamber of Commerce are using a holistic tool, whether it be breathing techniques, mindless food. We had Sophie on that does Ayurveda and yoga, which are fabulous things. But we have people in our lives and people approach us, maybe customers, and we look at them and we're like, I can really help you, but I have three adult daughters, and a lot of times I'll have a talk about sugar or a talk about, getting out and exercising. And I have this fear of shaming them. In fact, there's like, oh, Dad, so I want to reach the Murrieta Holistic Chamber of Commerce, or reach out to the Murrieta Holistic Chamber of Commerce. And I want to ask you what tools you're using. And Mary and I are going to have a conversation about the tools we use in our daily life to approach people. Like I said, I was talking to these guys earlier. It's like, on a pack of cigarettes, it says the Surgeon General has determined this is not good for you. It says it right on the box. Okay, not so much with diet soda. And if you have somebody that's attached to this, how do we approach them? How do we talk to them about, we're putting these things in our body. We only get this body. And why do we keep polluting it? So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, Mary.
Yeah, this is a great conversation, something I'm actually very sensitive to, because before I did the breath work that I do, I was a holistic health coach. And I've always lived pretty clean eating. I'm very fortunate. I grew up in Ireland with my mom, who was always made our meals from scratch at home. She still bakes everything from home. She eats like 20 of her 21 meals like are homemade at home. And so that was the way I grew up. I didn't grow up with fast food. I didn't grow up with soda. Those things were special occasions. Sundays, holy days, and special occasions were the times we could get those things. And so I felt very fortunate that I didn't have that barrier to overcome. And so because of that, I think I'm very gentle with people, because I know I did have my bad habits. I used to smoke. I was a social smoker because everyone did it in Ireland. Wow. If you wanted a break at work, you went out and had a fag, because otherwise you weren't getting your break. So
that's right.
That was how I took up social smoking. And so we all had our habits. And when I was a health coach, I really had the strategy of helping people to start adding in the good before they started taking out the bad. Because my experience was, if you told somebody you can't have your soda, they were going to hold on to that tighter than ever, because how dare I tell them they can't have their soda. Yeah. However, if I said, why don't you have some sparkling water with lunch, and after that, if you still want your soda, go have your soda. What started to happen was they'd be filled up with that sparkling water, and they were getting their fix of that fizz, that feeling that a lot of people like from the sodas. So that was one way. And then I also told them, add vegetables to every meal. That was my thing. It was like, you can have your pizza, just throw some vegetables on it. You can have your macaroni and cheese, just throw some vegetables on it. You can have whatever it is you want, but make sure you're having vegetables with every single meal, including your snacks. And so then people were eating more vegetables. So that's kind of been the way that I have approached a lot of the way I work with clients. Even still today, those needing breath work, maybe they're not ready to quite dive in and do full sessions with me. I give them like a little exercise. Just if you can take 5 breaths where you actually focus on your breaths every day. If you can do that, that's a great start. That's not going to get you where I know you can go, but it's going to get you started. And I'm all about getting people started, getting them comfortable, and kind of going, oh, this vegetables, this isn't too bad. Taking 5 conscious breaths a day, maybe actually kind of feel good. It might not be so weird and woo-woo after all. So that's my philosophy.
Right. And those are some great tools. Those are absolutely some great tools. Me personally, I love beer, and I know how bad beer is for you. So I do the club soda thing. I'll have 1 light beer, and 2 club sodas. And if I could get down another beer after a beer and 2 club soda, good luck, you know, and I still have the, you know, feeling okay from the beer. And I think psychologically, you know, I feel fulfilled and I'm there and I have fun. I don't have to be drunk to have fun, you know, but it's nice to socially be in that environment. You can be in a bar, you can be drinking somebody and kind of fit in there because we all want so much to fit in, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we're here today to talk about. You know, I hear so many objections. You know, so many people are just very, very attached to, you know, the KFC and the you know, the greasy, oily stuff. You know, as chefs, we're trained to use fat, sugar, and salt. Those are the number one things we put in our food. And you know, I'll catch someone, you know, putting white sugar into something, just sugar, and you have to understand this is bad for everyone. And you know, a lot of times and here I am on my soapbox, and I apologize, but you know, you may not be paying the price now, but fast forward to the last 10 years of your life, and that's where you pay in the last 10 years of your life. So, you know, I have someone that's, you know, pouring that sugar in there, and I love Mary's suggestion. It's like, hey, how about, you know, maybe some date nut sugar in there, or maybe something, you know,
Some honey, some raw honey.
You know, it's like something else, something a little. She says that because she's in the honey business.
Yes, my honey makes honey.
And so you know, you want to look for things that are lower glycemic and stuff like that. And you know, you see people, and you know, they're struggling. You know, I met a lady today, and she was, you know, in her late 70s, and she's like, oh, I fall down a lot. And it's like, well, that's falling down a lot is pretty bad as you get older. So, and I asked her, it's like, have you ever considered doing yoga? And it's like, have you ever considered just maybe balancing on one leg and closing your eyes? Just little steps like that. Folks, this is what we do here at the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. We have a whole host of people here that are specialized in different things that can help you with all these different things. And my question to my holistic members is, what do you do? How do you handle objections? How do you handle the biscuits and the gravy and the cakes and pies and the Twinkies and the trips to McDonald's? How do you address this without shaming people?
Yeah, I think that's great. And also for our listeners and our viewers that maybe aren't members of the chamber, or maybe you're just kind of dipping your toe into this holistic world, what type of motivations would support you? Because a big part of our mission here is to bring what we have to offer, but to meet everybody exactly where they are. And as our listeners and viewers, some of you might be like, you know, all in, and some of you might just be dipping your toe, kind of thinking about, do I really want to give up my pizza on Fridays? I'm not so sure yet. And that's okay. We are here to support you and help you, and we want to find the most effective ways to support you, and that's what we're all about.
So let us know. Let us know what we need to be doing for you guys, and I'd really love to hear your comments on how you handle objections. I have an interesting personal thing I'm doing right now. I have a daughter that's a little bit overweight, and she's getting ready to go to a big bridal shower and wedding, and she's dropping weight. She's going to the gym twice a day. And the other day she told Mom, she goes, Mom, it's just for like 5 more weeks until the wedding, and then I'll go back. And me, just knowing how the response would be, I'm like, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could just continue this, going to the gym and eating right? But how do I say that?
I start asking her how she feels. That's what I would do. Like, how does it feel? Does your body feel different? You know, now I'm going into my coach mode.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting on my soapbox. But that's seriously, because I think when people start to make changes, you know, as Sophia, our Vedic lady, said, you know, get in touch with your body. When people can start to get in touch with their body and start to notice how good they feel eating a certain way, or, you know, we were talking with one of our other members earlier, he was saying an effective method they use to get people to stop smoking is to have them like smoke a whole pack within an hour. And so it's almost like give your daughter permission to eat whatever she wants, like, you know, right afterwards, like buy it for her, and then ask her, how does she feel? And, you know, just that difference alone could be an inherent motivator for her. Because I know I've seen that in members of my family, which is
That's
awesome.
Great tips, great, absolutely wonderful tools. And I look forward to hearing from the
Yes.
members and non-members. people that are interested in holistic, tell us how you have the talk, the big talk,
The tough
nutrition talk.
conversations.
And we're also talking, we're holistic here. So we're talking mind, body, and spirit. We're talking about spiritual. How do you address that? People that you maybe see that they need some spiritual help in their life. Maybe people need, to deal with trauma. Mary over here does breath work and they see a lot of trauma. How do you bring up, because you're not going to go into your doctor's office with your headache and he's not going to ask you, do you hate the job you've been working for the last 25 years? Maybe that has something to do with your headaches that you've been having for 24 and a half years. Could be something. But we do that over here and we can help you.
Yes, for sure. So thank you, Ernie. Great conversation.
Great.
And
Thanks,
thank you
Mary.
all for listening.